Ladies and gentlemen, we've all been there. That moment when it feels like everything around us is collapsing. The voices in your head, the constant doubts, the oppressive weight of life's struggles. These are the demons that seem intent on tearing you down. But here's the truth. You do not have to be their victim. You can fight back. You can win. These demons are not always the ones you read about in stories. They come in many forms: the fear of failure, the ghosts of past regrets, the suffocating pressure of expectations, or the toxic patterns in our relationships. They may seem invincible, but the reality is this: they are only as powerful as we allow them to be. The first step in destroying the demons that attack you is recognizing them. Demons don't always wear horns or wield swords. Sometimes they come as self-doubt, the negative inner voice telling you that you're not enough, that you can't do it, that you're destined to fail. These are the internal battles, the ones that make you question your every step. So ask yourself, what are the demons in your life? Identify them, name them. Once you do, you take away their power. But recognition alone isn't enough. You must confront them. Demons, real or metaphorical, feed on fear. If you run from them, they only grow stronger. We must face them, not avoid them. This means not only confronting the fears and insecurities that torment us, but also refusing to allow them to dictate our lives. You cannot fight what you're not willing to stand up to. The moment you stop running, you begin to break their hold. Now, here's where the real power lies: within you. Your mind, your resilience, your ability to rise above. It is not about physical strength or weaponry, but about mental fortitude. You have to train your mind to be stronger than the demons that threaten to overwhelm you. Cultivate the belief that you are capable, that you are powerful beyond measure. You have been through hardships before and come out stronger. This is no different. But even the strongest warrior knows they cannot fight alone. Seek guidance when needed. Rely on your support system and allow yourself to lean on others. There's no shame in asking for help, no weakness in seeking support. You are not alone in your battle, and often the strength you need can be found in those who care for you. The demons that attack you are not the end of your story. They are, in fact, part of the process that transforms you into something greater. Every battle you face, every hardship you endure, refines you. You are not simply defeating demons, you are becoming stronger, wiser, more powerful. In the end, it's not the demons you destroy, but the version of yourself that emerges from the battle. A version of you that knows no limits, no boundaries. So the next time these demons come for you, remember this: you hold the key to your own victory. Recognize them, face them, empower yourself, ask for help, and transform through the struggle. You are not just a survivor of your battles, you are a victor. In life, we are constantly faced with challenges that test our resolve. These challenges, often perceived as overwhelming and insurmountable, are the demons that we must confront in order to grow. However, before we can fight and ultimately overcome them, it is essential to recognize these demons for what they truly are. They don't always take on the form of literal monsters or enemies, but rather manifest as abstract forces within our lives. The first crucial step in defeating the demons that attack us is understanding what they are and how they show up in our daily existence. These demons often hide behind the most subtle of disguises. They are the fears, doubts, and insecurities that constantly chatter in the back of our minds, telling us we're not good enough or that success is beyond our reach. They emerge as self-criticism when we make a mistake, or as a sense of inadequacy when we look at others' achievements. They appear when we look at our past failures and wonder if we are doomed to repeat them. These internal demons can sometimes be even more paralyzing than any external threat because they reside within us and we are often our own harshest critics. The truth is, until we acknowledge these fears, these insecurities, and these negative patterns, we can never move past them. Ignoring or suppressing them only makes them grow stronger, like a seed that takes root in the soil of our subconscious, feeding off our uncertainty and fear. Recognizing these demons is not a one-time event, it is an ongoing process. It involves a deep level of self-awareness and the willingness to face uncomfortable truths about ourselves. It requires us to step back and examine the patterns in our lives. Why do I feel paralyzed in the face of success? Why do I constantly compare myself to others? Why do I feel unworthy or unprepared? These questions are not easy to answer, but they are necessary. Often we become so accustomed to the negative thoughts and fears that we don't even realize they're affecting our actions, relationships, and decisions. The first sign of recognition is when we begin to hear the voice of doubt or fear and notice how it influences our behavior. This recognition also involves identifying the external demons that affect us, situations, people, or environments that trigger our anxiety or stress. These could be toxic relationships that drain our energy, demanding work environments that never seem to recognize our efforts, or past traumas that resurface unexpectedly. Recognizing these external demons requires us to have the courage to look at the world around us and acknowledge what is harming us, even when it's uncomfortable or painful. It may involve confronting difficult truths about our surroundings, people we trust, or even ourselves. But recognition doesn't just mean labeling the problems or acknowledging their existence. It means understanding their impact on our lives. These demons are not simply inconveniences. They are powerful forces that shape how we see the world and how we see ourselves. When we let them go unchecked, they affect our self-esteem, our mental health, and our relationships. We begin to define ourselves by our fears and doubts. And this definition can be limiting. When we identify and recognize these demons, we are taking the first step in reasserting control over our lives. By becoming aware of the ways they influence our decisions, we open up the possibility to challenge and ultimately change them. This process of recognition isn't easy, and it can be painful. It may involve confronting parts of ourselves that we've spent years hiding or denying. There are moments when we must be willing to look at our failures, our mistakes, and the ways we've allowed fear to dictate our lives. But this is precisely where the power lies. Acknowledging that these demons are real and that they hold sway over us is the first victory in the battle. It requires honesty, vulnerability, and the willingness to examine ourselves without judgment. Only by recognizing these demons can we disarm them. When we name our fears, give them a face, and understand their influence, we no longer let them control our actions in secret. Recognition is not just about facing our internal struggles. It's also about reclaiming our agency. When we know what we're fighting against, we can choose how to fight back. Recognizing these demons allows us to develop strategies and tools to overcome them. It empowers us to take the first steps toward healing, growth, and transformation. It's a powerful act of self-liberation. It's not the acknowledgement of the demons that defeats them, but the choice to move forward despite them. The act of recognizing them is an empowering reminder that we have the ability to rewrite the story of our life. In essence, the process of recognizing the demons that attack us is the foundation of our journey towards transformation. It requires introspection, courage, and honesty. And although the path is challenging, it is a crucial one. By facing the forces that undermine us, we take away their power, allowing us to take control of our narrative and fight for the life we truly deserve. The real battle begins once we recognize what we're up against and choose to take action. Only then can we begin to heal, grow, and ultimately defeat the demons that once had a hold over us. In the face of adversity, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the weight of the world. We often find ourselves standing at the crossroads of fear and uncertainty, questioning how we can possibly find the strength to move forward. In moments like these, we must understand the incredible power that lies within us, waiting to be harnessed. This power is not found in external forces, nor is it something that can be easily taken away. It comes from within, our mental and emotional strength. Harnessing this inner strength is the key to facing and defeating the demons that challenge us. Mental and emotional strength is the ability to stay grounded and resilient in the midst of difficult circumstances. It's the ability to remain calm and focused even when everything around us seems to be falling apart. The foundation of mental and emotional strength lies in our mindset. How we perceive and react to the world around us directly influences our ability to withstand and overcome challenges. If we view every difficulty as an insurmountable obstacle, then it becomes one. But if we choose to see each challenge as an opportunity to grow, we can transform even the toughest situations into stepping stones. The first step in building this inner strength is recognizing that our thoughts have immense power. Our thoughts shape our emotions, and our emotions drive our actions. When we are faced with a demon, whether it's fear, doubt, or any other form of adversity, the first impulse is often to retreat, to give in to the overwhelming emotions that come with it. But when we train our minds to respond differently, we change the game. Instead of reacting impulsively to the negative emotions that arise, we learn to pause, reflect, and choose how we want to respond. This shift in mindset is the key to unlocking our mental and emotional strength. A crucial aspect of this is learning to reframe our thoughts. Reframing means looking at a situation from a different perspective, choosing to see it not as an insurmountable obstacle, but as a challenge that we are capable of overcoming. For example, if we fail at something, the immediate reaction might be to feel worthless or incapable. But if we reframe the failure as a lesson, a stepping stone on the path to success, we free ourselves from the grip of negative self-talk and can move forward with renewed purpose. It's in this reframing that we begin to see ourselves as resilient, capable individuals who have the power to shape our own destinies. Emotional strength also plays a pivotal role in overcoming the demons that threaten us. Emotions are powerful forces, but when we understand and manage them, they become tools rather than obstacles. Fear, anxiety, and sadness are all natural responses to life's challenges, but it's essential to remember that emotions don't define us. They are temporary states that can be processed and released, not permanent aspects of our identity. Cultivating emotional strength means learning to experience and acknowledge these emotions without allowing them to control our actions or limit our potential. It's about feeling deeply, yet choosing to rise above those feelings and continue moving forward with determination. One of the most significant ways we can build emotional strength is by developing self-compassion. In the face of hardship, it's easy to be hard on ourselves, to criticize our every mistake, and to believe that we are somehow broken. But self-compassion involves treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a loved one. When we embrace ourselves, flaws and all, we build the emotional resilience necessary to face the difficulties that come our way. This self-compassion allows us to acknowledge our struggles without shame and to move through them with the knowledge that we are worthy of love and support. Another vital element of mental and emotional strength is perseverance. Life is rarely a smooth, uninterrupted journey. There are inevitable setbacks, disappointments, and moments of despair, but true strength lies not in avoiding failure, but in the ability to rise after each fall. When we develop perseverance, we cultivate an unshakable belief that no matter how many times we fail or face difficulties, we will continue to move forward. Each failure becomes an opportunity to learn and improve, rather than a reason to quit. This tenacity is what enables us to push through even the darkest times, knowing that our efforts will eventually lead to success. Finally, emotional and mental strength is fueled by a sense of purpose and meaning. When we have a clear sense of why we are fighting, whether it's for ourselves, for loved ones, or for a greater cause, we gain the motivation and courage needed to face even the most daunting demons. This sense of purpose gives us the energy to keep moving forward, even when it feels like the road ahead is long and difficult. It is what anchors us in moments of uncertainty and reminds us that we are capable of overcoming whatever challenges life throws our way. Building mental and emotional strength is not a quick or easy process, but it is one of the most powerful tools we have in our arsenal. It requires dedication, patience, and the willingness to face our fears head on. But when we cultivate this inner strength, we unlock the power to overcome anything. The demons that once seemed insurmountable become mere obstacles to be overcome, and we emerge from each battle stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. When we talk about confronting our demons, many of us instinctively want to avoid the painful or uncomfortable parts of life. It's natural to shy away from the things that scare us or make us feel vulnerable. After all, facing fear, doubt, and uncertainty is not something most people actively seek. But here's a fundamental truth. Avoidance only strengthens what we try to escape. In fact, the most powerful step we can take in dealing with the forces that try to bring us down is to face them head on. Avoiding our problems or fears doesn't make them go away. Instead, it allows them to continue to control us. It is only by confronting these challenges directly that we can begin to dismantle their hold over us. The act of facing fear, in whatever form it takes, is not easy. Fear can manifest in many ways: fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These fears often paralyze us, keeping us stuck in a place of inaction and uncertainty. They create a cycle where we avoid dealing with what's in front of us, and the longer we avoid it, the larger and more overwhelming it seems. It might start with small decisions, like not addressing an issue at work or postponing an important conversation. But over time, these small acts of avoidance compound into a massive barrier between us and our goals. The reality is, every time we choose not to confront our fears, we reinforce the idea that these fears are too powerful to face. Facing fear, however, does not mean recklessly charging into dangerous situations or ignoring the risks involved. It means acknowledging the fear for what it is and moving forward despite it. When we face our demons, we stop giving them the power to dictate our actions. We take back control of our lives. The first step in this process is realizing that fear is a natural response to the unknown, and that it doesn't have to define us. Fear is often a signal that we're stepping outside our comfort zones. And while that can be intimidating, it also signals growth. Every challenge that makes us feel uneasy is an opportunity to expand beyond our limitations. In confronting our demons, it's essential to recognize that the fear is not always based on reality. Our minds tend to exaggerate the worst-case scenarios, painting pictures of outcomes that are far more catastrophic than they ever turn out to be. This is why, when we confront our fears, we often realize they were not as terrible as we imagined. It's in taking that first step into the unknown that we often find that we were capable of handling it all along. We may not have been sure at the time, but the mere act of facing the fear allowed us to discover hidden reserves of strength we didn't know we had. One of the most effective ways to face our demons is by breaking the challenge down into smaller, more manageable parts. Often the reason we avoid confrontation is because the problem seems too big or complex to handle. But if we look at it step by step, it becomes more approachable. Instead of seeing an overwhelming task as one massive mountain, we can view it as a series of smaller hills that we can climb one at a time. This approach not only makes the problem seem less daunting, but also helps build confidence as we check off each small victory along the way. Another powerful strategy in confronting our demons is to seek support from others. It's easy to feel alone when faced with our struggles, but the truth is, no one is truly alone in their battles. We all face demons in some form or another. Reaching out to others for help, advice, or simply a listening ear can provide the strength we need to take that first step. There is power in vulnerability, and by sharing our fears and challenges with others, we often find that we are not as isolated as we thought. Support systems can be invaluable, whether that's friends, family, a therapist, or even a community of people who share similar experiences. In some cases, facing our demons means changing our mindset altogether. It's easy to view our fears as things to be defeated. But sometimes the most effective way to deal with them is to accept them. When we stop trying to resist or run from our fears, we give ourselves the space to simply exist with them. This shift in perspective doesn't mean we give up. Rather, it means we no longer let fear control us. We accept it as part of the human experience and continue to move forward, knowing that fear is just another emotion that, like all emotions, will eventually pass. The key is to not allow it to paralyze us. Confronting our demons doesn't mean they disappear overnight. It's an ongoing process, one that requires patience and persistence. Every time we face a fear or challenge, we gain a little more strength, and the demon becomes a little smaller. It's a journey, not a one-time event. Some days it may feel easier to avoid, and that's okay. What matters is that we keep moving forward. The more we face our fears, the more we learn about ourselves and our ability. We discover that we are capable of far more than we once thought possible. And in that discovery, we break free from the grip of the demons that once controlled us. Ultimately, facing our fears is the path to growth and freedom. It may not always be comfortable, but it's in the moments of discomfort that we find the greatest opportunities for transformation. By confronting the demons that try to bring us down, we reclaim our power and begin to live life on our own terms, no longer held hostage by fear or doubt. To overcome the demons that challenge us, we must first recognize that we do not have to fight alone. The belief that we are expected to handle everything on our own can be isolating, leaving us to struggle in silence while the weight of our battles grows heavier. In reality, one of the most potent tools we have at our disposal is knowledge. Wisdom, understanding, and insight into our struggles can provide us with the clarity we need to take action. Knowledge allows us to dissect the problems we face, break them down into manageable pieces, and find solutions that we might not have considered before. By arming ourselves with information, we shift from being passive victims of our challenges to active participants in overcoming them. When we know what we're dealing with, we can make informed decisions and tackle our demons with confidence rather than uncertainty. Moreover, the value of knowledge extends beyond simply understanding our specific challenges. It encompasses learning from others who have walked similar paths. We often fail to realize that many of our fears, doubts, and obstacles are not unique to us. Countless individuals have faced similar struggles, and many have written books, shared experiences, or created resources that provide invaluable guidance. By tapping into the experiences of others, we gain a new perspective that enriches our understanding of the battle we are facing. Sometimes, all it takes is hearing someone else's story to realize that our demons, while painful, are not unbeatable. Learning from others is a way to shorten the distance between where we are and where we want to be, offering us practical tools and emotional support. At the same time, knowledge doesn't just come from external sources, it also comes from within. Self-awareness, the ability to reflect on our actions, emotions, and thoughts, is crucial in understanding how we react to our demons. Many times we engage in patterns of thought or behavior that keep us stuck, unaware of how we are contributing to our own struggles. Recognizing these patterns is part of acquiring the self-knowledge that allows us to change. For example, if we consistently sabotage our own success by procrastinating or doubting our abilities, understanding this tendency is the first step in overcoming it. The more we understand our own internal world, the more we empower ourselves to break free from self-destructive habits. This self-knowledge also helps us realize our strengths, enabling us to approach challenges with a sense of capability rather than helplessness. Equally important is the knowledge that our demons, while challenging, do not define us. They may shape parts of our story, but they are not the whole story. It's easy to become consumed by our struggles, allowing them to dictate how we see ourselves. However, by gaining a broader understanding of our circumstances, acknowledging that these demons are temporary, that they too shall pass, and that they do not represent our worth or potential, we begin to regain perspective. This knowledge shifts our mindset from one of fear and defeat to one of hope and possibility. We realize that no matter how difficult our current situation is, it does not have the power to determine our future. With the right knowledge and mindset, we are able to transcend our struggles and look forward to a brighter tomorrow. Seeking knowledge also helps us develop the strategies we need to fight back against the demons that threaten to overpower us. We don't always have the answers at first, but by seeking wisdom, whether through reading, seeking advice from mentors, or simply taking the time to reflect, we gather the tools we need to tackle the problem head-on. These tools can range from practical steps, like time management strategies to overcome procrastination, to emotional tools, like mindfulness techniques to manage anxiety. With each piece of knowledge we acquire, we add another weapon to our arsenal, helping us move closer to victory. It's important to understand that knowledge alone is not enough. The wisdom gained must be put into action. The most powerful tool is not simply knowing what to do, but having the courage and discipline to implement that knowledge in our lives. Taking action, even if it feels small or incremental, allows us to make progress and proves to ourselves that we are capable of confronting our demons. It's easy to become paralyzed by information overload, drowning in facts without ever taking the first step toward change. But when we apply the knowledge we've gathered, we create momentum, moving us forward toward a solution. At its core, knowledge is about empowerment. It's the key that unlocks our ability to face our demons with confidence and resilience. By understanding the challenges we face, learning from others, gaining self-awareness, and developing practical strategies, we equip ourselves with the resources we need to prevail. Knowledge gives us clarity in moments of confusion, strength when we feel weak, and the assurance that we are not fighting blindly, but with purpose and insight. When we arm ourselves with knowledge, we no longer see our demons as insurmountable forces. We see them as challenges to be overcome. And when we approach these challenges with the right mindset and the right tools, we begin to transform the very struggle that once seemed so overwhelming into a path to growth and empowerment. There is a crucial element in the battle against the demons that haunt us, a powerful force that many overlook or underestimate: our environment. We often fail to realize just how deeply our surroundings, the people we interact with, and the energy we immerse ourselves in can influence our ability to overcome obstacles. The environment we choose to place ourselves in has a profound effect on our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Whether it's the people we associate with, the places we frequent, or the habits we cultivate, all these elements contribute to either empowering us to face our demons or conversely feeding them and making them stronger. When we are surrounded by negativity, criticism, or toxicity, it becomes increasingly difficult to rise above the challenges we face. Imagine trying to swim in turbulent waters while the current constantly drags you under. This is what it's like when we remain in an environment that doesn't support our growth or well-being. Toxic relationships, unhealthy workspaces, or even a negative internal dialogue can reinforce the fears and doubts that attack us. These external influences can cloud our judgment, weaken our resolve, and create an overwhelming sense of helplessness. The longer we stay in such an environment, the more it becomes ingrained in our mindset, often making it feel like there's no way out. To truly fight back against the demons in our lives, we must first take a hard look at the environments we are a part of. Are we surrounded by people who uplift us, who inspire us to grow and reach our potential? Or are we caught in relationships that drain our energy and bring us down? Do the spaces we inhabit encourage creativity, peace, and clarity? Or do they amplify our stress and anxiety? The simple act of shifting our environment can have an incredibly powerful impact on our ability to heal and grow. It may not be easy to make changes, especially when it involves distancing ourselves from people or places that we have grown accustomed to, but it's often necessary for our own well-being and success. Part of this process of environmental transformation includes creating spaces that promote growth and positivity. This can range from something as simple as decluttering a physical space to creating boundaries in relationships, or even curating the media we consume. By consciously surrounding ourselves with things, people, and activities that inspire us, we begin to foster an environment that supports our mental and emotional health. Positive environments nurture our creativity, focus, and confidence, making it easier to face our fears and take the necessary actions to overcome them. Another aspect of creating an environment that supports us is the importance of routine and self-care practices. The environment we cultivate within ourselves is just as important as the external one. If we fail to nourish our bodies and minds through regular rest, exercise, healthy eating, and reflection, we deplete ourselves of the energy needed to confront challenges. A lack of self-care can make us more susceptible to stress, anxiety, and negative thinking, all of which can fuel the demons that are attacking us. Establishing routines that promote physical, emotional, and mental well-being creates a foundation of strength that helps us better cope with difficulties and remain resilient in the face of adversity. There's also power in seeking out positive influences and communities. Connecting with like-minded individuals who share our goals and values can serve as a source of strength. It's often said that we become the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And this rings true when it comes to facing life's challenges. When we place ourselves in an environment where growth, positivity, and mutual support are present, we are more likely to rise to our highest potential. Whether it's joining a support group, finding a mentor, or simply spending more time with people who believe in us, these positive influences can act as a beacon of light, helping us navigate through the darkness and chaos that our demons create. However, creating an empowering environment is not a one-time event. It requires consistent effort. It means making conscious decisions every day to guard our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. It involves setting boundaries with people and situations that drain us and making room for the things and people that empower us. It's about surrounding ourselves with people who remind us of our strength and possibilities and distancing ourselves from those who constantly diminish our worth. It also means being intentional about the energy we bring to the table. Our actions, thoughts, and words have the power to either uplift or deflate. If we consistently feed our environment with negativity, whether through complaining, worrying, or indulging in destructive behaviors, we invite more negativity into our lives. Conversely, if we deliberately bring positivity, hope, and gratitude into our interactions and thoughts, we help create an environment that nourishes us and the people around us. This doesn't mean ignoring difficulties or pretending that everything is perfect. Rather, it's about choosing to face challenges with a mindset that is open to solutions and focused on growth. The environment we choose to immerse ourselves in has the power to either make us or break us. It can either feed the demons that threaten us, making them seem insurmountable, or it can help us rise above them, offering the support and energy needed to overcome any obstacle. By taking a step back and evaluating the environments we spend the most time in, we gain the clarity to make the necessary changes that support our well-being and success. Creating a nurturing, empowering environment internally and externally is one of the most powerful ways to fortify ourselves in the face of the challenges we encounter. When we consciously choose to surround ourselves with positivity, support, and self-care, we put ourselves in the best possible position to defeat the demons that attack us and to emerge stronger and more resilient in the process. In conclusion, the journey to overcoming the demons that threaten our peace and well-being is not an easy one, but it is undoubtedly a worthwhile pursuit. By embracing the power of our inner strength, confronting our fears head-on, gaining wisdom, and surrounding ourselves with empowering environments, we begin to disarm the very forces that once seemed insurmountable. It's a process of growth, resilience, and transformation, one that requires both courage and persistence. Every step we take towards facing our challenges makes us stronger, and every victory, no matter how small, is a testament to our determination and ability to conquer the obstacles that life throws our way. As you continue on your journey, remember that you are never alone. You have within you the power to rise above any challenge, and with the right tools and mindset, you will overcome whatever demons stand in your way. I wish you the very best of luck in your battles, and may you always find the strength to move forward with courage, clarity, and hope. Thank you for your time and attention. Stay strong and never underestimate the power that lies within you.